this place used to look a lot different. As a matter of fact, this whole town used to look a lot different. What happened is, quite a few years ago, people that lived around here decided to make a change. They decided to leave this old stuff behind. Another word for that is abandon, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, is that word abandon. What it means is to leave or forsake forever, finally, to give up, to leave in the past, and never come back to. Like they abandoned this place, we also have to think about what that word abandon means, and maybe do something because of it. He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. That's a quote by this guy named Jim Elliot. A really, really cool quote. And Jim Elliot had an interesting story. In 1955, Jim Elliot abandoned his family, his home in America, his comforts, and he decided to pick everything up and go over to Ecuador and begin his missionary journey to these people called the Huaorani people. For a year, he spent time building relationships with them at a distance, and on January 8th, 1956, Jim Elliot and 3 of his friends decided to make contact with these people. They flew in close to their camp and approached them, and at first things seemed to be going well, but things didn't end up so well. Actually, Jim Elliot and his 3 friends were killed that day on January 8th, and they were killed trying to do what Jesus wanted them to do. They abandoned everything for Christ and ended up dying for him. Now, what does that mean for us? There are many examples of abandonment in the Bible as well. Really cool examples given by really cool people. Moses, he abandoned his palace in Egypt. Abraham abandoned his home and was called by God to go to another place. David abandoned his comfortable bed. And Joseph abandoned his family and was thrown into slavery so that one day great things could happen. Peter abandoned his career as a fisherman. All these people abandoned their comforts of the past. What did they do in leaving everything behind? The result of leaving everything behind ended up being fulfillment. Just like those people in the Bible, those biblical examples, just like they were fulfilled by Jesus, Jim Elliot also was too. Though he died that day and was killed by the Huaorani people, those people now are followers of Jesus Christ because of the other missionaries that were then able to follow in behind Jim Elliot. They have Jesus now because of what Jim Elliot did. Out of their abandonment of their own comforts and their own desires, they gained fulfillment. Just like this old store was abandoned, we have to make the radical decision to abandon and leave behind the things of our past, whether it's our desires for material possessions, or allowing our old self to rule our decisions, or living in our regrets and causing that weight on our souls. We have to leave those things behind, because it is when we leave those things behind that we can live our future fulfilled in Christ. He doesn't call us to regret the things of our past. He calls us to accept that our future is with Him and that it is a radical